So let's begin with Unit 1, which is a Sem 2 book of Communicative English of Madras University prescribed syllabus. So now we'll move with the Unit 1 of Sem 2. So we can see the first part again, listening and speaking. And what we are going to cover with listening and speaking is listening and responding. In listening and speaking part, we have this complaints, the formal complaints which we make. That part would be covered, and listening to problems and offering solutions will be the second part. So in the first unit, we have as part 1 listening and speaking. You know, it is covering of LSRW, but the first part we'll be doing with listening and speaking alone for today. And here we can see listening and responding, and what is the situation they've given over here is to complaints of formal situations, and how we can offer solutions to informal informal situations, how we are going to give the solutions. So reading and writing, in that part we could see that we are going to cover reading aloud. Brief motivational anecdotes will be read, like they have already given you in the book, and that will be read aloud by you, so that you will get motivated by that speaker's note. And writing covers paragraphs, okay, paragraph on a proverbial expression, motivational ideas, that we'll try to elaborate and finish it up in the writing part. So you know very well the unit comprises of LSRW. So listening and speaking, which I explained to you earlier about the conversations, and reading and writing, we have this part in covering in your unit 1. And then we have, you know, LSRW, where the writing covers up with the word power and vocabulary, and we have synonyms and antonyms to be followed with, and in grammar we have the adverbs and the prepositions to be covered. So this is all comprising of your first unit part, okay. And so LSRW and your grammar you have to concentrate with. So I suppose we are very clear with unit 1. So let's go in deep what about the listening part, listening and the speaking part. So with listening and speaking, we have in the listening and speaking section of this unit, the focus is on listening to complaints, okay, in a formal context, and listening to problems and offering solutions in informal context. So this is what it is, how you're going to receive, okay, how you're going to receive the complaints. The situation is going to be very formal, and when we're talking about the informal situation, how we are going to give solutions to problems in an informal manner. So listening, one area we are covering, and speaking we are covering the other area, okay. Complaints call for action to be taken after the facts have been ascertained. So how the complaints are received and what are the sort of actions you're going to take, so these are the things will be covered. With regard to listening to problems, the listener has to practice active listening and offer solutions or suggest ways by which the problem can be solved. So this is how the lesson goes about. You have to listen to the the speaker in the active manner and try to offer solutions or suggest ways how to solve that problem. So the onus to solve the problem is not on the listener. Decision making rests with the one who shares the problem and seeks solutions. So it's not that one who is listening is going to give or is going to make be the owner of going to be a person who's going to give a solution for it. It's like the decision making session, like how I'm going to buckle up with the whole scenario, how I'm going to give a proper solution for things. So first and foremost thing is listening, and then we go with speaking, and what is the sort of area we are going to cover, and how you're going to be an active listener there, and how you're going to give solutions for that, and what sort of conversations and what sort of expressions we are going to use during these sessions. This is what is highly commendable in this particular unit. So listening and responding to complaints. To complaints during formal situations. So what sort of formal situations we are going to have? Making complaints could be made in a forum, or individually making complaints in a forum. Like in an open forum, you start complaining, like is there any view which you're going to give, we're going to ask, like you start saying that these are the things which we want, and this is the pitfalls found here. We want all these pitfalls to be covered up, like we want the things to get in a better manner. So how do you try to give those complaints? The healthy practice of listening and responding to complaints is deeply ingrained in the administrative system of our country. So it's not that we don't know to respond to complaints. We know how to respond, because it's been built in within us. Like it's a great society we have, wherein which we can easily accept the complaints, and we know how to compromise with things, and how to come out of such complaints and give a proper solutions for that. It's there in us. The only thing is how we are going to put forth, how we are going to roll it out accordingly, how we are going to take it over against the people who are going to try who's going to give us complaints. So the village panchayat is a forum where complaints are received and issues. This is just a situation we are giving you. Might be you can take up any situation for this cause. For today we are going to go with village panchayat situation. So you can see a beautiful picture over here. Okay, so this is how the village panchayat goes. They start sitting there, and they start giving up their views, and one single person starts, the counselor over there, he starts listening to it, and then he gives some suggestions, some ideas, how this happens and what sort of conversations they have. Such meetings takes place even in modern office environment. Here again, the aim of the meeting is to discuss issues raised and sort out problems. So this is what is rightly done in this kind of conversations. So this is what in modern time scenario how the conversation goes. Okay. Complaints could also be made by individuals over the phone. Like it's not that only complaints, no, face-to-face complaints. We over the phones also we try to do the complaints. We try to give some complaints. The complaints made over the phone usually pertain to products and services. Mostly we'll say we'll buy something over the online, and we see to that our product is not good, or some services they would have made, and some electronic goods you would have purchased, and the services which they have made has some kind of a problem that has arisen. So what happens is we try to give complaints over the phone. In case you have a problem with an item you have purchased online, you could call the customer care of that company and make your complaint. With services provided by the government such as electricity and water, there is a number of like designated for receiving complaints from the public. So there are two samples of conversations pertaining to lodging complaints. So like it's not just like that we go complain something. We have certain criteria to be followed when we are lodging complaints. So complaints can be made in an individual manner in a forum, or it can be made over the phone. So in a forum, this is a situation over here. In a forum, what we do, the counselor of Washam and Pet visits his ward. Like the meeting was been arranged by the residents of Alvar Nagar of Washam and Pet. So examine the conversation given below to learn phrases and expressions used in making complaints. So when tomorrow you're going to do this kind of complaint, you should know like how you're going to approach people. It's not just like the standing straight before the people and the secretary or someone say this is not fair, this is not nice. That is how we all talk, which we are not supposed to do. We have certain kinds of ethics to be followed when we are giving complaints, when we are making complaints. So this is how it goes. Now Alvar Nagar secretary, Vanakkam, residents of Alvar Nagar, it is our privilege to have with us the secretary of our ward. He has the counselor of our ward. He has responded to our letter in which we have expressed all the needs of our Nagar. He has visited our Nagar today to listen to us and address all the outstanding issues. So how beautifully the secretary is introducing the counselor. So he has accepted our letter, and in response to that letter he is come today to give some kind of help for us, to give remedial solutions for us. So this is how he introduces the counselor. Thank you, Thiru Srinath, Secretary of Alvar Nagar Welfare Association. I have made time to get a first hand account of the issues you are facing and will do my best to solve them. So I have made an account already. You have written a letter to me, so all that is accounted. But still, I would see to that I'll solve your issues at as soon as possible. Arun Kumar, resident, stands up. He says, Vanakkam sir, I am Arun Kumar, residing at 12th Cross Street. I would like to bring to your attention the drains that are blocked. So this is the phrase which you have to be very very careful with. I would like to bring to your attention the drains that are blocked. This is how I would like to bring to. Sir, our drains are blocked. No, that is not the case. Like how you have to address somebody when you're giving a complaint. He is not. He is also equally a public. He is also a person who's come there to give heed to your complaint. So it's not that just like that you should throw words on him. See how beautifully the sentence is framed. That is why rainwater stagnates in the street. So if you had done some work or on preparedness for the monsoon by clearing these drains, we wouldn't have faced these problems. So he's saying, like if you have done it earlier, we the cleaning of all that blocked things, all this would not have happened. This is how he's expressing his view. Counselor, sir, you have rightly pointed out one of the causes for the flooding of the streets. I would also like to inform you that that prior to the arrival of the monsoon, clearance of the storm drains was undertaken. You who have lived in this area for more than 20 years know that many of the old independent houses are replaced by residential apartments. This is a major reason for flooding of this locality. We should work towards increasing the capacity of these drains. So very nicely he is giving one explanation for that. So it's all because of the newly built houses now, because it's all raised high enough, and that's why the drains have been blocked. Might be in future the capacity of these drains would be increased, and things will not be the same in the future. This is what he's trying to give. Ramesh, so first of all, let me congratulate you on becoming the counselor. So I have a complaint to make regarding our ration shop. The queue at the ration shop is endless. It is very pathetic to see people standing in long queues. Could you use your good offices to get one more ration shop for our Nagar and more staff in each ration shop, so that the disbursement is quick? So very nice. So we can see people standing in queues, and this becomes a havoc. It's becoming a pathetic situation, seeing people crowding near the ration shop where they get their provisionals every month. So he is highlighting this view, and very nicely he is making regard a complaint make regarding our ration shop. This is how very nice. So see the sentence. Mr. Ramesh, I agree with you. I shall make arrangements for an additional ration shop in this locality and post additional staff. Quick disbursement will solve the problem. So he is giving an answer for that. He says yes, he is going to do that. And Sudha, I would like to bring to your notice that Nagar has not received the flood relief package. Other localities have received the money as well as the materials for flood relief. So she is highlighting that she didn't get the relief funds. So for that also he is giving. Okay, fine. BPL, I'm afraid this locality doesn't fit into that category. Says no, it's only below poverty line they'll give, and I suppose this is not the place where it comes under below poverty line. So might be that is the reason they have not received it. That's one answer. So President, Madam, I also made inquiries, and I fully agree with the statement made by a councillor. I also wish to add that we received the relief given in phase 1. I understand that in phase 2 the government has restricted the supply of money and materials only to BPL areas. So fine. So everything has gone nice, and now friends, our councillor has made time to be with us this morning, as he has another meeting in 15 minutes from now. He will take leave for us. From us, please feel free to bring the civic needs of Alvar Thinner to me and my fellow office bearers. Thank you. So he also says goodbye and he leaves. So this is how the session goes. So making complaints over phones will be might be I can make it up in the next session for you. So this is how your listening and speaking part of unit 1 goes, where we had with formal complaints. Okay, thank you.